This is video 266. I'd like to talk about the refraction of light. We just talked in a previous video about reflection, where light was incident upon a medium and then it reflected back into that same medium. In this video, we're not talking about reflection, we're going to talk about refraction, where the light enters the second medium and it actually bends as it enters. And what we want to look at is, why is that light bending in that second medium? And what are the applications of this? So I like this analogy here of a lifeguard trying to save a drowning person. Let's assume that the lifeguard can run a lot faster in the sand than he can swim into water. So although the shortest path to the drowning person would be a straight line this way, that's not the path that he's going to take, because then he would spend the same amount of time in the sand as he would in water, and he wouldn't get there as fast, as quickly. So it's better for the lifeguard to spend more time where he's faster, so more time in the sand, so that's why the path is this way, and then less time in the water, so a shorter path into water. So this is showing the same thing that light does when it goes from one medium to another. Let's say if it was going from air into water, light travels faster in air than it does in water, so it's not going to do a straight line from here to here. It's going to spend more time in air and then bend as it gets into the water. So a reason that the light bends when it goes from one medium to another is because the speed of that wave or that light is changing. The speed gets slower when the light enters from a material such as air to glass. So when that's the case, then the ray of light is going to bend toward the normal. So what this means is that the light, which is incident over here, is not going to follow a straight path. This line here would be the straight path, but instead of following a straight path, it bends this way. So we say that's bending toward the normal because the normal is this vertical line right here at a 90-degree angle to the surface. So the ray is bending towards that normal line instead of going straight. The opposite happens when light goes from a material in which it's slow to a material in which it's faster. When it goes to a faster speed, that causes the light to bend the other way away from the normal. So instead of the light following a straight path, as in this dashed line right here, the path curves this way, which is away from the normal. Again, the normal line is right here, so we're going away from that normal line instead of following a straight path. It also turns out that you could reverse the ray of the light to see these two cases, right? If you looked at this first picture here, and instead of having the light go from the air to glass, if you just reverse that ray and show that the ray was going from the glass here and then to the air, then you can see that as it's going from a slower to a faster material, that ray of light is bending away from the normal. I have one more question for this section here, just to see if we can identify the difference between reflection and refraction. We have a ray of light that is incident right here, number 1 here, is incident upon this piece of glass. And then we have 4 different rays that are shown here, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we want to know which ones are the reflected rays and which ones are the refracted rays. So let's take a look. A lot of people think that 2 and 5 are reflected and 3 and 4 are refracted, but that's not the case. When the light is going from one material into another and bending, that's going to be a refraction. So 3 is refraction. 2 is reflection. The light is incident here, and part of the light is reflecting while part of it was refracting. So we can already take away D, which doesn't have the choice of 2 reflecting, and we can keep going here. Ray number 4, you can see that ray number 3 is incident here. And then you can see the law of reflection happening here. It's reflected back into the same medium. It was incident from the glass. It's hitting this boundary, but it's reflecting right back into the glass. So that's reflection. So 4 is definitely not refracted. And then this ray of light number 4 is going from the glass into the air. So it's bending away from the normal. It's refracting. 5 is refracted. So our answer is C here. 2 and 4 are reflected, and 3 and 5 are refracted. So that's it for this video. In the next few videos, we're going to keep talking about refraction and figuring out exactly how much that light is going to bend.